Everyone, my name is Phoenix. I'm here today to talk to you about the mod conversion system in Once Human. This came from a couple of questions that I have from some of you and the Facebook community, and I wanted to bring it in a video form so you can actually see how the mod conversion system works. I also want to put a little bit of emphasis on this video for new players who just started playing the game, that don't understand how the system works, and for those players who maybe have been playing here for a little bit, but they have not get into how the mod system works. Uh, Big kudos to my hive mate Luna. She is a very experienced player, a total pro on making builds, and it has been in here since day one. She has about 12 scenarios under her belt, so all this information came from her. It's thanks to her that I'm able to explain this to you. I hope that I do a good job with it. I'm gonna try to make the video as short as possible, so you can, like get into it and go back to grinding. Okay, let's start by opening our menu, and in here we're gonna go to the mod section. You're gonna see weapon mods and armor mods. You're gonna have all these different sections in here that will show you how many mods you have. When you are new, you most likely are not gonna have a lot of mods. You're just gonna have a few. You might only have green ones, blue ones, purple ones, but eventually you will get legendary mods, which are the only ones that you can actually roll. We're gonna go into the mod conversion system in here, and this will show you these three sections. We're gonna focus on armor mods because I have more in here so you can actually see. When you open your menu, some of these will be unlocked. And this is for two different reasons. One, some mods are only gonna be locked to a specific scenario. So as an example, lunar mods are only gonna be available if you have done a lunar scenario and you actually got the amount of mods you needed to unlock the ability for you to roll that specific mod. Okay, so some of these might be locked, and some might be that they're not locked to an scenario, but you need to get a certain amount of those specific mods to unlock the ability for you to roll. How do you get the mods? You select the one you want, even if it is locked, and then in here, it will show you the mod. It will show you at the bottom what activity you need to do. In this case, is Securement Silo Alpha or Taurus. You play this specific silo until you get the amount of mods you need. You will unlock the ability to roll, and you will also gain the mods you actually will need to roll that specific mod, right? So that's how you unlock that part. This section right here, it will show you the levels, the range levels for the mods from level 6 to level 12, 12 being the best and 6 being the lowest. There's level 5s in there, but I don't really count those in. But if you're a new player, definitely something you want to keep in mind. Why are these levels important? For the following reason. I'm gonna click in here so I can see the list of the mods that I have. I'm gonna scroll down, and then I'm gonna select this mod right here. This one in specific is a very bad mod. The purple dropped into the head damage reduction. If you play PvP, maybe this will be useful for you, but I am doing this on PvE. I don't plan to play PvP. Never gonna go in there. So this specific attribute does not work at all for me. And on top of that is the purple level one. Why is this important? These mod cannot be upgraded into a good one because you only get 5 levels added to this mod when you upgrade it. Those 5 levels will be distributed in a random way, but it could be that they drop like one into the head damage reduction, which it will turn it into gold, and the other ones might be spread out. That's why at level 6, level 7, they're not going to be that great because you can only add 5 more levels to what you already have. And you might get like maybe one blue, one purple. Versus if you have a level 12 mods, they're going to start dropping with 2 blue ones and a purple, one green one. And then from those attributes being upgraded, you can add those 5 more levels, making it running with the possibility of making it maybe like 1 or 2 goals. If you're lucky, you might even get a triple gold, and that will be a god tier level, right? A god roll, as people say, if you have the right attributes. That's the reason why the levels of the mods are so important. You only want to work on those level 12s once you have a lot of mod. But if you don't have a lot, you can start with the lower levels. If you want to upgrade one of these, you don't have a lot. This will serve you for you to increase your damage a little bit, survive a little bit, so you can go farm more mods, so you can get more, so you can roll in here. That's why that part is important. If you want to know what the ranges are, if you hover this little symbol right here, it will show you from level 0 to 35 what you're guaranteed to get. So in this case, 0 to 35 will guarantee you to drop a level 6, maybe a 7. You're never going to get a level 12. That will be really rare. And then it goes on all the way to 90. One thing that you will want to do in this case, so you can save levels, so you can save mods, is to concentrate on aiming for 41, 51, and 61. And I will show you what that means just in a second. In this case right here, if you look, it's telling me right now that I'm guaranteed to get a mod between 11 and 12, because in here, right, this is the max range and I'm a level 61. How do you get that? By all the mods, all these levels add up together and create this number. Now, I don't recommend to do autofill. I did this just to show you what that number will look like. The autofill will pick the highest level mods you have in that category, and it will add them in here, and that might be a waste. Number one. Number two, some of these mods might actually be good. You might use them for now until you get something better, so you don't just want to do autofill. If you want to clear this up, just select another mods. It will clear that, right? So you don't have to exit the menu. Then comes the other part in here, suffix. There's different types, right, for different builds. You have crit, so violent will give you crit. Kind of clicking so you can see it. Violent will give you crit. Precision will give you weak spot damage, and talents will give you elemental damage. So there's more different suffix, but this is just example. If you're looking for a specific suffix for a specific mod, for weapons specifically, there's different types. Like for example, there will be burn, and then if you're looking for this specific here, if you select, you will be power search. I only have 9 of these, so I can only roll twice in this. That means that I have to go grind for more power search. If I want to roll this specific mod, if I want to roll it in here, I gonna need to go do some grinding, right? But we're gonna go back to the gear so you can see, because I have more options in here. Then you can start adding those mods in here. If you click in here and you lock the suffix, what's gonna happen is you're gonna be able to add those suffix in here, and then this part will be locked. When you click to select the mods, it will be only violent mods, violent suffix mods in this case. So you'll be able to select all of these, the ones that are not locked, of course, and then those numbers will add up in here. They will start up. The other two in here, it can be anything. So you can select, for example, 2 level 8s, 2 level 10s, whatever the numbers is in here, and this will get you to 51, which is one of the numbers that we were aiming for in this case, from between 51 and 55. And then you can actually roll this. This will guarantee you a mod between 10 and 12. The chance of getting a 12 is, it's gonna be low in there. It's 100% chance to get an epic attribute in between those attributes you're gonna get on the actual mod. Meaning one of them, guarantee, is gonna be purple. But it's not guaranteed you're gonna get a 12 or 11. It's most likely guarantee that you're gonna get a 10, right? So you can select all these mods, but before you send them into the Doom, you want to make sure you check all the attributes, that you're not discarding a good mod. If you're playing PvP, I don't recommend to keep any mods that are head damage reduction. That's really not going to do much because it's mainly for PvP. Completely up to you. If you want to join that later and you want to do activities in there too, you might keep them, but that's completely up to you. But make sure that you check them, because some of these might be good. If you just click, right, like I did. But the reality is that you should be, before you actually send them in here, you actually should be checking before you actually click. And something that you don't like or it doesn't work for you, click it, click exchange. Now, each time that you roll, this is going to cost you 20,000 energy links, which is pretty expensive. And, at the end of the day, you might be down all your energy links. So keep that in mind. You want to have a lot before you start actually rolling. There is also another thing that you can do if you have a lot of energy links. If you have millions, as an example, you can start converting all these lower level mods into higher ones, so you can roll into higher range levels. So it's like all your 7s, right? and you start rolling those to get level 8s, and then from the level 8s you turn into 10s. You can turn the 10s into 11s and 12s eventually. So that's why you want to make sure you don't discard all the lower levels. Completely up to you, but that's just my recommendation. Now from here it will be up to you what you want to choose, what you want to pick, what you want to aim for. If you saw a YouTube video that it has a build and the person says, hey, you want explosive barrage, then you start looking into, make sure that you get the suffix right. If you see a build, or if you ask somebody, hey, what kind of suffix you're running into that, and then you can select in here the suffix if you want to lock it for sure, or if you want to select the mod in here, filter it from here like I show you. You can select this and it will automatically lock them all in that specific suffix. You can start selecting and then start rolling. That's how the mod conversion system works. Once you get the mod, you go back over here and you look for it in the tab, either armor or if it is a weapon. You go to the section and you go look at the mod. Once you have it, if you actually like it, if it is a good mod, we're gonna use, for example, this as an example, right? This is the mod. I like it. This is good one. Then you can right click on it and you hold in here to enhance the mod. The 5 levels that I was mentioning before, they're going to be distributed in between these 4 attributes, right? So this right here can turn into gold, which it will give you 15% crit damage increasement, which will be great if you're running a crit build, right? If this is the mod that you need, this is not, we're not going for crit on a Burning Wrath mod, but that's just an example. It might be that all the other 5 levels drop on these and this one doesn't get it. It's completely random, but it could be you get gold in here, you get purple. If maybe the 2 attributes you're looking for, right, drop into all the levels drop in those attributes, you might get 2 gold, you might get a triple gold. That's how that works. You're gonna need some weapon parts, mod weapon parts. This will right here will show you, and you get those by dismantling the purple ones or some of the gold ones. One thing that my hive mate was telling me is if you have a mod that it's bad, that you level it up, you can actually scrap it and then you get a lot of mod pods from that. Pretty much you get the amount that you invested on it. So that's an option. That's how that works. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, put it on the comments. And if it did help you in any sort of way, I would really appreciate if you can give me a like. But if you have any more questions, just let me know. I'll be in the comments over there responding to you guys. Thank you so much for staying until the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And I hope that this helped you in any sort of way. You have a great weekend. Bye-bye.